finish this one and then click on the
Just
previous
come to YouTube. Or that. Sorry.
Some people like podcasts.
Oh, iTunes.
We are on iTunes.
We're on iTunes.
That is
That's a big deal. We're
finally.
there.
Finally. So even if you watch us and you just, you like to watch the video, just go and subscribe anyway and leave 5 stars.
Yes, please.
Just because it really does help us.
And just let it play and go get in the shower.
Yes. Visibility is really big. And iTunes, when it comes to podcasts, it's a really big deal. So
yes, please.
We don't care if you don't watch it over here, but go listen over there, leave 5 stars, leave a comment, and that will be extremely helpful.
That should be the
name. Oh, I'll say the name.
And that.
Go subscribe on iTunes.
Yes, okay.
I'm a mess because I did not subscribe on iTunes.
I'm a mess because I didn't subscribe to HFM on iTunes.
So let me go do it now. Hey guys, I'm Ebony.
And I'm Megan.
And this is High Functioning Mess. Welcome back to the podcast. How are you? Functioning or a mess this past week?
This week was a very productive week, and I realized that maybe that's been what has been missing, and I felt like I was just floating the last 2 weeks versus
having things you had to do.
So I think getting things done makes me feel accomplished, so that makes me feel like I'm functioning. Okay. When I have too much time on my hands or free time, I'm like, what is life? What's going on? Yeah. So I think I'm functioning. What about you?
That's good. Same. I feel like this week was functioning. Even though I was on top of stuff a little bit more. I had a lot of reasons to drop the ball, but I feel like I didn't as much as I could have. So because of that, I feel like I'm functioning this week. I think I did. This week went well.
So it's like all things considered.
Yeah.
I kicked ass this week.
Right. Like I could have just been like, I don't feel like doing nothing and really dropped the ball on a lot of things, and I did not. So I was functioning.
That's good.
And I have a very busy weekend coming up too, so I'm hoping I can keep up with everything over the next 48 hours.
Oh, is that why you declined my invite?
What invite? She lying. She didn't invite me nowhere.
The margarita thing.
Oh, yes. Well, no. Yes and no.
I just know. I'm so excited.
I was like, what? Yes, I RSVP'd.
That's yours.
You know I love it. I RSVP'd. I will try to make it, but I have a baby shower, and so I won't be done. Okay.
Don't say that when my baby shower comes around. Right. Go to that baby shower.
Right. So, but yes. So yeah, with everything going on and as busy as it's been, I was functioning this week, and I got a lot of stuff done. So yes,
I'm very proud of you.
Okay, so WTF is going on with you?
I mean, my focus, unfortunately, or whatever, has been work this week. So I don't really. I'm out here trying to date. You know what I'm saying? I put up a post yesterday that based off my frustration.
Oh yeah, I did see. I saw it this morning. And
it came from this guy. I'm gonna tell you a backstory. Maybe he watched this. I don't know his life. It came from this guy that's cute that we can't seem to click up and match up. We kind of don't really. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind, unless one of us posts on social media. And we go, oh yeah, we should hang out. But then he's busy, I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. So we have this whole back and forth. He has a great personality. Like, we laugh at everything. So we're on the phone and we have this back and forth about, well, I mean, I ain't gonna be no bugaboo. I hit you up and I asked you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, so you want me to be the bugaboo? I'm like, so I hit you up, asked you what you're doing. All you responded was, oh, I'm XYZ. You didn't ask me what I was doing or what's up, nothing. So I'm like, oh, to me, that says leave. And I was like, even though I feel like I'm very justified in my thought process, but why is that our thought process? And it was a combination of it's a new person, it's whatever. It was a whole thing. I was like, fuck dating. I got off all dating websites. I'm just going to stick with my little friend. When we feel like being around each other, we'll be around each other. So yeah, I've really just been focused on work, eating.
Eating. That's it.
What about you?
I have no updates. I've been working and.
Did you submit your pictures?
I did not.
That was my fault. Because I said
we were supposed to do it that day. No, I didn't. They're fine. I think. I don't know. I've kind of shifted my thought process about that, but that might change again in the next few weeks or whatever.
You can say it because it may.
Yeah, so it might change. Basically, at this point, I'm probably, if they ask me to do it today, I'll probably say no. But that's because of personal stuff going on.
That has nothing to do with.
But you know, who's to say in a month if they wait until April or May to say like, oh, we're recording in 2 weeks, what I would say. But right now, it would probably be no.
Yeah, I would imagine. They definitely recorded last season and the season. I know for sure the first season because I remember them being outside sweating.
Yeah, they said it was gonna be May or June, and May or June in Houston is very hot. So
indoor venues only.
They're not dumb and don't put us in a big old mansion and we gotta be outside the whole time.
That would be so fun. Remember, I told you that you should do that.
An event?
I said you should do a singles mix.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to. I have so many.
And rent out a mansion. That mansion that you have saved.
Yes. I was like, I have all the things.
And sell Eventbrite tickets and get B and like all these people that have like followers and like be on social media to just, if you're single, it's nothing more to it. Just come. And then you can do a little whatever. I can get my sister to come do a comedy show real quick.
We've just planned a whole event. Look for it in Houston.
Behind the scenes.
2020 some point. Look for that. Other than that, nothing. I was supposed to have a date tomorrow. That has since been, I guess, canceled. It's canceled in my head. He needed to reschedule. I already know I needed to reschedule because my day ended up, it wasn't supposed to start until 2, but then I had several things pop up where I have to be doing stuff early. So I already know I needed to reschedule. And so he texted me and was like, you know, do you want to reschedule Friday? Just like, no. I was like, but I was going to ask you to reschedule. I said, can you do Sunday? And he said, not unless you're going to drive to Crosby, but if not, that's cool, Queen. And I was like, all right, I'm not responding to him anymore, so we're done.
Am I allowed to give my input or you just give me yours?
Oh, you can.
So this is my, going back to the comment that I made, and maybe we'll find a way to see if we can insert what I posted on Instagram because I don't want to keep referring to it and people don't know what I'm talking about. I think new people, they don't deserve or whatever the case may be, because even though my initial thought is, well, that sounds fucking crazy. Like you got attitude because she don't want to, you know.
I can't do Friday.
But on the flip, playing devil's advocate, I can also understand without context, without him knowing like, hey, unfortunately I had something that came up. I do really want to see you though. Can we make such and such date work? To me, it's the same. It's no different. Let me give you, bear with me.
I'm listening.
There's a difference. We tell people all the time, there's a way to cancel interviews. There's a way, on the flip side, there's a way to keep a candidate warm if it's somebody that you're interested in versus somebody that you're not. Let them know, we'll get back to them. We're still interviewing people. That's somebody that you're not interested in.
All right.
Hey, can you give this candidate a call? Let them know that we were definitely interested in their background. We've got some behind the scenes stuff that has nothing to do with them. We really enjoy meeting with them. Like it's a little bit more butter up. I also understand on your end because you wasn't really all that interested in the first place. But I just want to make sure that it would be different if it was somebody that you had an interest level in, or not. Not would it be different, but would you be willing to explain a little bit more and understand? Not explain. I'm not telling you got to say what you have to do.
Well,
but if you feel like if you're in the dating scene and you feel like everybody is flaky, right? And then you run into somebody that like he was interested. I'm gonna speak for him, right? I don't know. I can, I guess, and he was interested in seeing you, and he already. So he reached out to you and said, do you want to? Oh, I was going to ask you anyway if you want to reschedule. So you hadn't taken the initiative. You hadn't whatever. So I want to make sure that, which we know why you didn't do that. But if this was somebody, if the story was different, if he was like, oh, I was talking to this guy all night and he was fine as hell when I saw him. And then we talked and we had a good conversation. And
if we had been communicating,
did you try to communicate with him?
No, because I don't have an interest in him.
So no, I thought you were. I just want to make sure you weren't like blaming or saying he was wrong.
No. I don't think there was anything wrong with him telling me like, "Hey, I can't do this." And truly, the driving to Crosby thing was like, okay, that's not even an option. But the way he presented it was like, okay, I guess we're not gonna see each other. And I was like, cool, like I'm not interested because with him saying like, well, unless you're gonna drive to Crosby on Sunday, I guess we're good, Queen. And I hate
which is probably, I guess,
because I don't like that stuff.
And it's very passive aggressive. Yeah. I guess what he was saying was I was making the sacrifice of coming to the city to see you.
I don't know anything about this man, so I wouldn't even know that. I didn't know he lived in Crosby. I know nothing about this man.
Wait, hold on, viewers. I gotta say something to my friend real quick. do you know that you don't know, or do you not recall?
Oh.
Because this could have been a whole conversation.
It could have been a whole conversation. You're right.
I'm just trying to be devil's advocate and say, like, I don't think everybody's crazy.
No recollection of that conversation, so you're right.
You could have told this man you was gonna have his baby. I don't even know.
When I saw that picture, I don't think so.
Well, you couldn't remember if he was cute or not, so maybe in the moment.
Maybe.
He cute. The lights was low.
It was late. It was dark. Who knows? Anyways, but yeah, I do think it would be completely different if it was somebody I was actually interested in. So it's no big deal.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm way more open than I think people think I am to dating.
I don't think we have said evidence to support that claim.
I went on 3 dates with this dude that I was like not really interested. I gave him my number. I wasn't really attracted, but I was like, let's see. And then we hung out. He was cool. He was real cool. So we kept hanging out. And then I think I forgot what happened. I think he tried to like cross the line, and I was like, "Oh no, sorry, no, this ain't that. Tricked you, this ain't that." Like, oh, my bad. And then that was that. So, okay. But yeah, so I'm always and like communicating. Like I said, I'm a lot better than people think, but I'm just not the forthcoming.
Well, I don't think you're good at communicating because you say to me, I'm not good at communicating. You say, I don't like small talk. I don't like texting. I don't like blah, blah, blah. But I also have not really known you the way I know you now since there's been somebody that you've been interested in, with the exception of one person. But I also don't get the vibes that, yes, all those things are true, but do you also pick up the phone and call, or do you go, I've already told this person that I don't like texting on the phone, so they, okay.
I literally was talking to this guy for like 2 weeks straight, and it was probably because I was really, really bored. It's when I first moved into this apartment. 2 weeks straight. I mean, it's an apartment. Okay. 2 weeks straight, texting all day, every day, because I was bored.
Right, but if you don't like texting, why didn't you call him?
Oh, because I didn't. We talked. No, we talked on the phone too. We did. We talked on the phone quite a few times, but we would text a lot. And we were talking on the phone.
Like I don't think that you don't compromise. Yeah. I know that you compromise because you understand that texting is.
It's the way. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, on the flip side, is it that you just let them control the conversation or the form of communication, or do you go, okay, well, I know that I prefer to talk on the phone, so let me pick up the phone and call this person and see how their day was today?
It depends on my interest level.
I'm saying, if for somebody to
if it's somebody I'm interested in,
that's what I don't have. I can't say that you don't because I have not known you since you've been. Well, you ain't tell me about it if you did.
Yeah, if I'm interested in you, I will. I probably won't just pick up the phone and call just because I'm weird like that. But yeah, for the most part, I don't mind being a person that's like, hey, can you chat? Da da da. So
okay.
But I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not a person that I'm not very like. I don't want to say assertive. Or I'm not the most.
Don't take the initiative.
Yeah, that part. I'm very much a person.
I was looking for when we were having that conversation with old boy. I was like, initiative. That's the word I'm looking for. Like an idiot, like an English professor.
So yeah, I do follow people's leads, and but that's my own stuff. So anyway.
I do that too. So is that something we're not supposed to do? Because you've never course corrected me there.
I don't think you do that as much as you think you do.
Oh, but I do.
Really? I do feel like we have talked about how it's kind of like I adjust to whatever you're doing. I get used to it.
I've never in my life picked up the phone and called somebody first, FaceTime somebody first. I'll text because I feel like text is the
Or talked about hanging out first or anything?
Not first. Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Hells no. What I do is I match. That same guy that I said that prompted the post yesterday, the reason why I hit him up and said, oh, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, and he didn't say anything back except for tell me what he was doing, was because he had been trying to hang out. And I was like, okay, I see this effort. He's also cute, but I see this effort. Let me try to match that.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, like, I will make time. And people don't understand what making time means for an introverted extrovert. Because you assume I'm out all the time and I'm this, I'm that, and I'm always I would always rather be at home 100% of the time. So for a day where I could be at home watching Netflix on my couch or in my bed cuddled up and I'm deciding to save this day for you because you made plans, that's a big deal. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, and then I match that. Or if you randomly FaceTime, I FaceTimed him. Because yesterday he randomly FaceTimed me and I called him back because I was at the office and he's like, why you couldn't FaceTime me back? Blah, blah, blah. So then today I was like, let me make the initiative.
Yeah.
I FaceTimed. The Negro didn't answer. Colored. I'm saying about him.
Yeah, whatever. We'll see.
Takeaway. So that's what's going on. So takeaway from last week about our trust issues topic. If you haven't seen it, then go click this link.
Oh yeah, because you do a good job of adding the links and all kind of things.
Going to go watch that episode.
Or if you're listening to it, finish this one and then click on the previous
one. YouTube. Okay. Or that. Sorry.
Some people like podcasts.
Oh, iTunes.
We are on iTunes.
We're on iTunes. That's a big deal. We're
finally.
There.
So even if you watch us and you just, you like to watch the video, just go and subscribe anyway and leave 5 stars.
Yes, please.
Just because it really does help.
And just let it play and go get in the shower.
Yes. Visibility is really big. And iTunes when it comes to podcasts, it's a really big deal. So
yes, please.
We don't care if you're going to watch it over here, but go listen over there, leave 5 stars and leave a comment, and that would be extremely helpful. Thanks.
That should be that needs to be the name.
Loop. Oh, I'll say the name.
And that.
Go subscribe on iTunes.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm a mess because I did not subscribe on iTunes. No.
I'm a mess because I didn't subscribe to HFM on iTunes.
So let me go do it now.
How did I get there?
Takeaway listen previous episode.
Okay.
So
takeaway from last week. So much better recording with sunlight. Feels so good. I was watching a dating show yesterday, and
you have to call me when you leave here because I can tell you about the dating show. The Netflix one. Love is Blind.
They called you?
No.
Oh.
I have to tell you something else. I can't say.
So I was watching that, and there was a scene where this drunken woman said something in her drunkenness, and I made a comment to a guy of, that makes me so mad because I feel like. Don't turn around the next day. She tried to say, I said things that I didn't mean. And I was like, that's bullshit. Because if you did, I said, to me, a sober mind is absolutely how you felt.
Drunken mind. Speak sober.
Thank you. A drunken mind is exactly how you felt. And we've always heard that. And he says, I'm not arguing that. He said, but this is the difference, is that there is a filter that exists when you are sober that does not exist. So I understand, being upset and saying, don't say that you didn't mean that. But if I care about a person, what my filter does, it says, I don't want to hurt this. You're allowed to feel like this person is attractive or whatever. But you don't need to say that to your fiance, right? And so that is the difference. So I think our episode allowed me to I pride myself on viewing things from a different vantage point. If it's possible, somebody sits down and explains it. I try to think that through and but even more so maybe now from a less aggressive standpoint. I think I want to be a better, and I think I already do a decent job at it. My therapist hates it because she says I minimize things and I make excuses for people. I think I just understand that people are human. And even if it comes to something like trust issues, right? Or the reason why you didn't trust somebody, that understanding what that means. And do you have justified trust issues? Right? Do you not trust this person because this person in their drunken state said or not did. I'm sorry, y'all with the did, okay? But because this person says something or you feel like they act different, I just think the whole week I feel like I was kind of, and I already think a lot. It's really bad. But I kept circling back to like, I don't know, how can I view things differently?
And where does it come from, it sounds like?
Where does it come from?
Yes. For me, it was the not holding on to things as an issue forever. And because we were talking about trust issues and then we kind of hit a little bit on abandonment, and I always say, I have abandonment issues. And kind of like...
What, you a Pisces?
I'm an Aries.
Is that a thing for y'all?
Abandonment issues?
No, it's a hold on things.
Stubborn as hell. I don't think. Kind of.
Oh, Devin is an Aries. Sorry, Devin. He probably watches this. And that makes we're going to talk about this later because that makes so much sense.
Yeah. But I'm also a person that, I don't know if this is an Aries thing. I know Aries, stubborn, like, stand my ground, all that. But I'm also a person that I hold on to it until it's addressed and resolved. So like I have issues with people
trying to just sweep shit under the rug.
Yes, that don't work for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And so then I'm just not gonna like you for the rest of my life. But if we can have a real conversation about it, talk about it, and get to the root of it,
fix it. So it don't happen again.
Well, depending on if we still have a relationship, because we don't need to fix it when we have a relationship. But if we can address it, yeah. But yes, if fix it, yes, definitely. But especially like if I feel like we address it, I get your perspective, you hear where I'm coming from, we talk about that. I'm quick to like my friends was like, is that healthy? Because like I'm very quick to like, as long as we can address it and have an open conversation about it, I'm good. But until then, I'm gonna be holding on to that stuff forever. So, but yeah, so learning how to let go of these labels that we put on ourselves, like I have abandonment issues or I have trust issues, because it can be that this was an issue in the past and it's no longer. And
or it could be no longer if you let it go
or work on it.
Repeating yourself. What'd you say? You worded it. I make you say this all the time. When we convince ourselves of something and then we do things to like reinforce the lie that, or whatever our beliefs are. Right, whatever
you find information to confirm whatever beliefs you have. Yeah.
That's just not, it's almost like the difference. It is the epitome of you create your own reality, but it goes both ways.
Yeah. Good and bad.
So you have the authority, you can change that.
Mm-hmm.
You can have really been, I'm not going to use that as an example. You could have really been cheated on.
Mm-hmm.
That we're not taking that truth away from you, but you determine whether or not it's a repeat. The same way about the example of when you sleep, you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I could easily have gone into my next relationship and said, well, last time a guy said that he was asleep, he had 8 girlfriends. So therefore, anytime a guy said, no, you got to do a pop-up, you got to go see how they really sleep, is their car outside? No, but I chose to let that shit go. And not even knowing what I know, you know what I mean? Not even realizing that I was making a conscious decision to not let this affect me. Also, I just love men a lot. And I be wanting to see the good in people, and I be like, well, this nigga is a different, this guy's a different guy than the last guy. And I just be wanting to love on people. Let me love on you.
Yeah. And I think that's a big part of relationships, is trying to find, like, give them the benefit of the doubt, but also trying to find things that might confirm the opposite. If you know that this is something that
Why don't we do that enough? Why don't we?
Because we think whatever we think is the truth, and that's it.
Can I say something? Do we have any white followers? I feel like this is something that white women do to a fault. That's a very blanket statement. I apologize. I feel like it's things that we would be like, girl, what? No. He cheated on you 8 times. Like, he told you that's what happened. You can't. But I know in his heart of hearts that he loves me. But maybe he does.
Girl, that's everybody.
But are you willing to? Yeah.
I know plenty of black women that do the same thing.
I feel like that's a whole different topic.
We can't go there.
We can't. It's 4:30. I'm saying it's not gonna happen. Not that.
We got to get through this podcast
topic.
Right, that's a new topic. Okay. But yeah, so take away. Let stuff go. Don't always call it an issue.
And mine's more still unpacking.
Yeah.
And getting to the root of, instead of just accepting that something is the way it is, why is it that way? Why am I so? Ooh, I could do a whole whatever about this. But like, why do I need reassurance?
Yeah.
Why is it that if a person starts off calling me all the time, if that's how they start the relationship, why does it have to continue to be that? That's a big thing for me. And I know the reason why, because I go to therapy. And I have friends that are therapists and they tell me about myself. But it took me asking those questions to get to that point of knowing why that is the way it is.
Yep. All right.
So today's topic is, I don't know what it is.
Oh.
I'm setting you up.
Trying to balance everything in your little 24 hours or 7 days, trying to make sure everything that you have going on in life is balanced. And is that a reality? Is that, can you really do everything at full capacity and have time for like yourself or be happy.
Well, and that's the spoiler alert, right?
Right. The answer is no.
It's no.
The answer is always
the
no.
answer is no. You can balance things, but not at full capacity.
Yes.
Something's going to slip by the wayside. And what is that? Why is that? Why is that a thing? Is it because we only use a certain part of our brain? Is it?
It's because we only have so much energy or brain power or whatever to give certain things. And so I think we think of ourselves as machines sometimes. But if you go to other countries, they put a lot of pride in like rest and like taking time. Yes.
They don't play.
Right. But we as Americans are very big on like, if you're up, you should be doing something productive. If you're woke, as opposed to like, no, you need to sometimes have time to not have to think and not have to go. Yeah. And so when we're trying to balance, that's what we're doing. It's like, okay, I have to work 40 hours. Then I got to make sure my kids are good. Then I make sure my husband is good. Then I got to cook. Then I got to, like, it's a lot. I got to have a hobby. I'm supposed to hang out with friends. Like I have to have self-care. Like,
you're giving me anxiety going through this list. Like, that's how stressed I am. Can I do an overshare?
Yeah.
So I told you I took a half of Adderall today. And my thought process was that I was going to be able to tackle all these million things. And it taught me, no, you can focus really good on one thing. And I banged that one thing that I focused out. I felt so like, yes, I've been trying to get this done and I'm finally able to get it done. But and it was a joke, but I told my brother, I was like, oh, the Adderall kicked in. So much so that I've been trying to send this text to you for the last 30 minutes, but I'm so honed in and focused on this. So this is a prescription drug that's supposed to help you balance and to focus, but we're still human.
You only can do one thing at a time.
Let me tell you, it was like a 2-hour time span because I knew I had to come here, that I was like, everything on my checklist got done. But in order, not all at once. It's in order. Okay, I'll mark this off my list. Move on to the next thing. Mark this. And that's honestly been trying to do it the other way has been my Achilles heel. So I start and stop. I start and stop. I start and stop. Forgot my stopping point. Right. Guess what I had to do? Start all the way the fuck over.
Right.
So it's pointless where you get so much more done efficiently and effectively by starting something and completing it. Focus on it, master it to the point that it becomes a hobby or I'm sorry, a habit.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm starting to wake up and work out every morning, you start off saying I'm gonna work out every morning at 5:30. It's gonna be hard at first, and then that becomes a habit because you've mastered it. And so guess what? I can incorporate something new. Yeah. I can incorporate, okay, maybe after that workout, I make sure I sit and I meditate for 30 minutes. But to try to do that all one day, I'm going to start working out, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to eat good, it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
And I'm always curious, like, where stuff comes from. That's just the way my brain works. But, like, when did we decide that we're supposed to be able to do all the things all the time at high capacity? Not just, like, do it. Like, there are days, if you're working out, eating right, all the kind of stuff where it's like, okay, I did a workout. It wasn't my best workout, but I still did it. But to feel like you have to be 100% at everything all the time just seems delusional.
But we talked about this briefly. I thought it was you and I, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't for the podcast. We are friends in real life. But I thought it was you. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we talked about focusing and how even if you think about Kobe Bryant, you think about Kevin Hart, you think about all these people who are perfectionists in their craft, it's because they have people and they have teams to take care of the other things so they can hone in on their craft.
But even with that, when they're honing in on that, you still see, specifically the Kevin Hart documentary, you're dropping the ball in other places. You're still not being as present with your family, So it's you can be great. You can only be great in so many things at once. Oprah has a quote, and I cannot think of what it is exactly, but it's basically saying that you can only be great at so many things at so many times, like at a certain time. So one week she might be killing it as a boss, killing it as a partnership with Stedman, but messing up with her friends, right? And then the next week it might be like her friends are getting all of her attention, you know, stabbing, but then the business part is dropping. Like it's only so many things you can focus on when it comes to like I said, the energy and the time and the effort that you have.
And you know what's funny about that is that is real life. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like we have this illegitimate or like just untrue, completely untrue, whatever it is that we're trying to live up to. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to make that reality. We're trying to make that real life.
Yep.
And it's not, though. It's not. I mean, I guess you create your own reality. I ain't going to take that away from you.
But like you said, like today you said you felt like you were killing it because you had your list of things and you did all the things, right? And that was great. But if you don't do that every single day, does that not mean you're not productive and that you're not doing enough? Like, it's always going to be a new list. That's the one thing I've learned. Not to say that I'm good at this because I still beat myself up for not doing my to-do list. But it's always going to be something else to do.
And if there's not something wrong,
because depending on the type of person you are,
even then, I'm still want to be pushing and going and just have different. I don't know.
Depending on the type of person you are, because some people are like, well, I cleaned and I don't feel like I need to do anything else. But ambitious people or people that are always kind of like go-getters, you're going to find something else to do. If my whole apartment was clean and I had a great workout and I had a great day at work and I saw all the clients, I'm going to come home and be like, I should have
meal prep.
Right. I need to update my wardrobe, or I'm going to find something else that needs to be done.
I say that this is my biggest confusion about men, specifically Black men in relationships. This whole, like, I have to be where I gotta be before I can commit, the whole Steve Harvey bullshit is I've been saying this since this has been a thing since it came out, and I'm not trying to be funny when I question this, but I go, don't you always want to be better? And also, I date really driven people. I consider myself really driven. I consider, so it's like you don't ever reach a point where you're done. You can become CEO and you go, okay, so I'm gonna start my own business, or I want to be on a board over here. I want to be. So that's an excuse because you should be able to. And I guess so. Things also go through seasons. Yeah. Where if I am in school to get my master's for these next 2 years. Maybe family is going to slip, a relationship is going to slip. Those are maybe things that I'm choosing to not focus on because this needs more of my time right now. And that's fine if you make that, or if you're lucky enough to be able to, I don't know. I'm coming from a place of like, I get it and I understand that should be a focal point. Don't listen to me. That's probably fucked up. But I'm coming from
it depends on what your life looks like, right? If you're single and it's like, I plan to leave Houston in the next year. Right, my plan is to leave and move to a different city. Then I'm not gonna focus on dating.
I didn't give a shit about
that. Like why am I gonna focus on dating? Like I know.
I was like, no, get this over here.
So I think it's perfectly fine. But if you're already in a relationship and you're talking about moving, that doesn't mean you get to like just kind of kick that relationship aside. Or if you're already in a relationship and you decide to go to grad school, you don't get to be like, okay, I'm gonna check out the relationship for 2 years.
So I've never understood the guys. Well, I do, because I guess I know what they're looking for. But I've never understood the guys on dating websites, and I say guys because I don't date women. I'm not saying that women don't do this. They'll have in their like description, I'm on here because I'm so busy that I don't have time to date. So unless you're just looking to smack, you don't then write me and ask to take me out. Right.
I think sometimes they mean to put that on time to meet people. Like they're not like out and about in the world to meet people.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not.
I think let me say, I should have done a series. If I was smarter, I would have, in all the 6 years that I've been off and on dating websites, I would like have created a little photo album, screenshots. I have seen people who, yes, probably fall in that category, and I would say that's probably 40%. I have seen. If you can't understand that my child comes first and that I'm only gonna have so much time. If you can't, which I'm sure women put that on their profiles too, but again, I don't see y'all profiles. I don't know what y'all be talking about. But it's just and I'm just like, oh, that's a turn off.
I hate when they're like, if you are a type of woman that I'm like, so why don't you talk about what you want? Why are you so focused on like all these negatives?
Because they're hurt, their butt hurt.
And
And vice versa.
Every
I've heard
time
my guy friends talk about women do the same thing. I'm not here for a hookup. Don't even waste your time in my inbox.
Every time I read that, I'm like, oh, so you don't like women or men. Like, that's my first thought is if all you have on there is like, if you only care about height and career or why don't you just not talk to those people? Like, just stop responding if it feels like that's not. I don't know.
I get the frustration part.
I trust me. I get the frustration part. My profile not gonna say like, if you're gonna send me a dick pic, don't send me a message. Like, duh.
It's not gonna reflect that.
I don't think I need to put that on my profile.
Also, I probably have said things that are like, but I find it funny with it. I'm not angry about it. It's like I don't like driving. That was in my profile years ago. Like, I don't. If you live outside the loop, no thanks. Right, but which is not true. I still talk to people that live outside the loop. I didn't go visit them, but whatever. Or like I did for a small amount of time say, I'm not here for hookups. I just realized like people gonna treat you how they want.
Right. It don't matter what you
don't have to say. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And a guy's not gonna see that and go, let me scroll past her. She's not here trying to hook up. Like, no, he's still gonna try you.
Because whatever beliefs he has about the dating app, it does not matter what you say.
And I was truly, I didn't want to come off as negative or as, so it was important to me personally. And so I removed that. But anyway, how do we get on this? Oh, people are not having enough time. And always wanting better in their career. I just feel like that's always a thing.
Oh, yeah. So they have to be at a certain space before they can even start dating.
Your family is always a thing. That was a thing until you did. Your friends, hopefully, are going to be around for a while. So these are not going to go away. These things are not going to change now. They may be. I'm really into my friends right now. That's just, they take priority right now because it's what makes me happy. That wasn't the case 3 years ago when I was in a relationship, or not even in a relationship. I remember even not being in a relationship. I was just really a loner at that time. I was going to get a certification. I was focused on that. Maybe I went to happy hour once a month. Like, I can't stand shit. I still drink at home. I just only went to happy hour once.
No, I'm not talking about the drinking part. I'm saying like seeing my friends.
Oh, yeah. And it was bad. And then I'm trying to figure out why am I so sad? Why am I so sad? It's because you're not doing the things that truly make you happy, but which is a sacrifice, which I was willing to do because it was a short-term sacrifice. So I just think it is a balancing act, and I think you have to be vocal and to the people that you care about. Yeah. You don't have to explain yourself to everybody.
Right.
But some people that you care about, and be honest with yourself.
That's the big, you have to be clear on what capacity you have, what can you do, what can't you do. And it's not about letting other people down. I think that's why we think sometimes we have to do things a certain way. I think hopefully if you have good people in your life, they're going to want you to take care of you. And so if you don't have good people in your life, that's going to suck.
I have a friend that does not say no to any invite. And I said to her one day, I said, I'm not trying to be mean, but I think you think people care a little bit more than they really do. If you got an invite to this person's birthday party and it's you and 50 other people, and it's a person that you talk to they're not going to die. You're exhausted and you need to rest. It's not going to kill them if you don't go. You tell them happy birthday. You say, I'll take you to happy hour one day for your birthday. I'm sorry I can't make it. And she is just like, to this day, well, no, I told such and such I was going to go. Well, first of all, stop saying yes so quick. You say yes instantly to any and everything. Tell them I'm going to think about it. And I'll let you know if I can go. I'll RSVP. Stop saying no. Stop saying yes so quickly. And then pay attention to you and your well-being and your health and your mental state first.
Yeah.
And if you know that certain things are going to be more draining, back to the like master's example, that's a draining process. So if you know that that's going to be that, then understand and accept that for the next 2 years, I'll get in when I can, and don't beat yourself up because of that.
And I think a big part of it is recognizing that sometimes in the moment you might be excited or want to do something, but that does change over time. I'm sure we've all committed to stuff where it's like, oh yeah, that'd be fun, let's do that. And then when the time comes, it's like, dang, I really don't want to do this now. At the time it seemed like a good idea, but later on it doesn't. So you have to try to figure out, like, know that about yourself, but also, and you don't always, just because you committed to it before doesn't mean you have to stick to it. Like, as long as you give people time, as long as you let them know, like, as long as you're not putting them in a bind, like, it's perfectly okay. I counsel a lot of people.
And she was like, girl, I don't care.
She
said, I was going because of you.
Right. And
I was like, oh.
And that happens so often where it's
you.
like, I don't want to do this, but I don't want that person to be mad, da, da, da. And then you tell them, they're like, oh, I didn't really want to go either, but we had already discussed it.
That
and so
meme, that is my life. When somebody cancels and you're like, yes! You're like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm still in the bed.
Right.
So what do you say to, sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot because it's not my career and you've had to deal with this. What do you say, though, to the one of the elephants in the room that we can't talk, or I can't talk about, is your kids and or your spouse? Which are they allowed? Do you feel guilty if you allow those things to slip, or are those the things that like, no, at no point in time, this always has to be a top 3 priority, and then you prioritize everything else underneath that? What would your advice be for people that I can let my animal slip and not take it to the vet? I can't let my kids slip.
I would say, first off, a lot of times we think we are letting things slip and we're really not. We are very hard on ourselves. If things are taken care of, even if you don't do them, they're still getting taken care of.
That's a word.
I think along with that, just like everybody should have the right to choose how they spend their time in their day, even if you have kids, even if you have a spouse, whatever. So if I know that I dedicate 50, 70, 80% of my time to making sure that I'm on top of whatever my kids and on top of whatever my spouse, that other 20, 30%, like if I'm like, hey, I can't do this today. No, I know we do a date night every week, but this week I haven't been able to see my friends. I'm going to hang out with them. Like, you should have that right.
Yeah.
If you're communicating it. Like, I think that's the biggest part. It's just like, you can't just up and be like, I'm out. I know we had plans today, but I'm going to do this instead. Like, you want to be mindful and what's the word I'm looking for? You just want to consider it. You want to be considerate of other people. But no, my biggest thing, especially when it comes to kids, and I don't have no kids, but I'm a therapist, so I do work with people that have lots of kids. The first things you learn about life, you learn from your parents. And so if you are raising a daughter and you are a mother, a woman or whatever, and you're raising a daughter, and you are teaching her that she has to sacrifice everything for the people in her life, that's who she's going to become when she grows up. If you're raising a son, he's going to expect that women are going to sacrifice everything for him. And so if you start to teach them that you have to take care of yourself, you have to be making sure that you're good mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that stuff, then they will learn how to do that. And I think we think we're supposed to be this certain way, and we just have to, because if we miss anything, the kids are going to be so devastated. Unless you're showing them like, okay, yeah, my mom didn't come to my game today because she worked late, and she needed some time to herself because she was just tired. Then they learn they get to take breaks too,
and that's okay.
And that's okay.
To piggyback off that, I mean, I'm not a professional therapist, but I watch TV, and I was watching an episode of Blackish, and it was, and if you watch it long enough, any show, you know that the writers do a good job of reoccurring things, right? And so Rainbow, the mom, has this thing where she's her whole life is overcompensating, and she overcompensated because if she came to her mom with an issue, the response would be something very hippie-ish, right? Her mom was a hippie, so that's the theme throughout the show, is that she wants to be more intentional and more in tune. And so she comes to her daughter with like, well, no, this is a big deal. Like, we have to take care of this. And it was like her and her girl BFF were falling out. And she's like, I remember when that happened to me. And it was something she had hung on to for years. She was stalking her old best friend and like whatever, because the way her mom dealt with it was like, don't worry about that. People come and go. Kind of like whatever a hippie response would be. Or burn some sage and they'll be fine. And you'll be fine. And so she's overcompensating when her daughter's like, it's fine that we're not friends. Like, it's okay. People go through their seasons. It is what it is. I don't have to know why. And she forced the issue, made a play date, forced them to meet up, and then come to find out, obviously it blows up in her face because it's a sitcom. But there's so much truth in that, and that the things that we think we probably are not succeeding at, or that we could do better at, probably very often it's not even noticed. Yeah. Whether it's your child, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friend. And they're like, I feel like what's the word I just used? I overcompensate.
Oh, okay. I was like, I have no clue.
Against myself. Because I've made a decision that I'm going to be better at XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Not because somebody came and told me that, though, right? So I'm like, I want to be a more intentional friend, and I want to do it, and I want to check in, and then my friends are like, but girl, it was fine.
It was fine before.
You're cool, chill out. Like,
yeah.
And so maybe being realistic about that. And so now when you're setting those percentages up,
yeah,
where you're like, I give my kids instantly have 50%,
mm-hmm.
right? And so that's my priority. And so I only have time for 2 other things.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, they're like, Mom, we can make our own lunch. We're 13. Like, that's something you can give up and not do.
I want to hang out with my friends anyway.
We don't have to do arts and crafts every Saturday. Right. We don't have to.
Like, I appreciate the effort. And sure, maybe I'll appreciate it later, but also I really want to hang out with my friends today, though. Like, mm-hmm. I think you know the people in your life, and you know what you've set up to. So mm-hmm. I think that's a big part of it as well, where we set up these systems, and we set up the way of living, and then we want to all of a sudden change it. So if you're going to do that, you have to kind of discuss that, of course, and make sure everybody not even necessarily is on board, because I don't believe in like getting permission per se, yeah. But I think there needs to be some communication about like, hey, like this is what I feel like I'm needing. Hopefully people in your life care about you and want you to get what you need. Yeah. But you know who you married, so go from there. I don't know who you married. And that's my biggest thing. Even with the couples I work with, I can't tell you what to do in that relationship because I'm not in that relationship. We could talk about what it is now and what you want to change and how we can do that, but I can't tell you what to do.
Also, the other part, I mean, to piggyback on what she said, one of the people always ask me, what do you get out of therapy? And I always revert back to this line that she told me. This is the biggest thing to this day I probably learned from her. You have to give people the opportunity to show up for you. Mm-hmm. So they don't know what they don't know. Mm-hmm. And so if somebody doesn't know that I need your help or that this will make my life a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that you asking this person to do something that's 5% of their day and you're honing over it's such a big deal to you, and you're like, how am I going to bring this conversation? They're like, if you need me to get there 15 minutes early, if you need me to meet you halfway to do this, or if you need me to edit instead of whatever, mm-hmm. then you don't allow people the space to show up mm-hmm. and to make their own decision of yes or no. I think we as women have that really bad, mm-hmm. where we're like, we don't want to bother. Or we don't want to, it's a whole thing.
Definitely.
And maybe it is. Maybe once you have the conversation, you're like, look, I'm really at my capacity.
Right.
And I can't do anymore, but have that conversation and allow people, don't make the decision for them.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think that's good.
Cool.
Check in.
Okay. I ain't gonna trick you this time. Y'all know I ain't worked out. So
I figured you.
However, I did a big thing today.
What's that?
What do you think I did?
Did you sign up for the gym or talk to your trainer?
Bingo. She knows me so well. I was like, I got a glimpse of myself in a full-length mirror. And I was like, okay, if you start now,
it won't be so difficult.
It won't be so difficult. Because you're just like 8 pounds over. You're like 5 pounds over. You just need to turn this. I'm at the point where all this muscle has turned into officially, it's back to fat. So go back to your routine, your regimen that worked for you. Obviously doing it on your own. And this can be my takeaway next week. This obviously ain't working. Yeah. For me to attempt to do it on my own. And especially for a challenge, because when I challenge myself, I try to it's almost like having an end date or having something to look forward to. Like normally, if going to Tulum didn't do it, if doing this challenge on here didn't do it, it's not. I'm not gonna do it. Right. I gotta be like getting married or something. Yeah. To be
that discipline yourself.
So, and I found an accountability partner. I forced her, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going," because you have to do an assessment when you go to my trainer. And I was like, and she had asked about him before. I was like, "I'm going tomorrow. I know it's last minute, but if you want to come through." And she said, "No." She said, "I will. I can start on Tuesday though." And she said, "I'll just come in with you. I'll do my assessment when you're working out." And that's gonna make it not that much easier because I don't really care about that much. But I think it does make a difference. Like he knows that so I can't turn around and not go. Okay. But I was walking up your stairs today, and I was like, I already feel the pain of tomorrow today. So my biggest thing is that more importantly than the challenge, maybe not more importantly, but equally as important, I'm being honest with myself.
That's the point of the challenge, right?
It is.
That's yeah. Like the point is,
I probably wouldn't have gotten to this point this soon. Maybe at some point, but not today.
Yeah. No, that's the whole point, is for us to like try to do these things to make our lives better and figure out why we're not
higher functioning.
Exactly. So that's amazing.
And I felt like I was more functioning working at having it. Yeah. I'm a Capricorn. I like routine. I like regimen. So going to him on these set days at this set time, and then working out on my own on these days. I have too much willy-nilly in my life.
Yeah.
I also got too much time, and that's why I be mad at men. Why you ain't call me back? You need a life.
Because you're bored.
Get a huggy. Girl, get on my face.
That's hilarious. I worked out one time.
Okay, good job.
I mean,
that's one more time than me, and probably 10 more times in total throughout this whole month.
Yeah, I just haven't had, and it's funny because I said I was functioning this week, and I knew I wasn't working out. And it's not even.
That doesn't mean that you're not functioning.
Yeah, that doesn't. It doesn't. Just because I didn't do the challenge, I clearly had other stuff. But I just hadn't had the capacity or the interest in it really. And like I said, I know for a fact it's the weather. Because I actually have started waking up earlier again this week, which thank goodness, because I was getting used to I used to wake up at 7 o'clock every day, just no alarm. I started waking up at 8, then some days at 9. I'm like, okay, you got to stop, because typically I have to be in my office by 10. So you got to chill with that. So this week just so happened the last 3 or 4 days I started waking up at 7, which I feel like will be helpful in getting me back into the routine. Because whenever I was working out, I woke up at 7, gave me an hour to kind of do whatever, that would go walk or work out here, whatever, and then I would get ready for work.
What about joining a class or doing 9 round or Orange Theory or something like that?
I don't like that stuff. That's the only answer I have for that. And I messed up my knee in my dance class.
All right, we got all this.
No, I do. I truly do. I really messed up my knee, and I took a dance class a few weeks ago. And I loved the dance class. Absolutely loved it, but my knee was so messed up. I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I wanted to. But I mean, I could join. I'm cheap. That's a big reason too. That's a real big reason.
What priorities?
My wardrobe is my priority right now.
Just for shits and giggles, I just want to share when she refers to weather. For my followers that are in Chicago,
I don't give a. I am from Houston.
I said because when I say I had an attitude those last 2 days, so I want you to know I'm right there with you. I'm not shunning you.
It was so rainy and cold yesterday.
But it makes a difference. Now, and we also have the luxury of the majority of the time. Not yesterday. I can't remember yesterday.
Yesterday was rainy and cold because I had to go get my car and I was mad.
But today is cold. But the sun is out and it's beautiful.
It's so pretty outside.
And when we say cold, it was really cold. I got up this morning, it was 39 degrees. That's cold.
The sun was out and pretty.
But it was gorgeous. And I had a great day because of it.
And I think that makes a big difference too.
It wasn't open, but
I think that I almost, when I left where I came from and I was on the freeway, I was like, I should let my top down and just turn the heat on.
I do that. My windows down, or not the top.
Yeah, I've done the whole top.
Top that.
It's a new car though. I just got this car, so I'll still be trying to enjoy it even in these winter months. But yeah, so for me, definitely, I think I'm going to, this week, because it's the last week, I'm going to try to push myself a little bit more. Because like I said, my little workouts are so simple. It literally is just, I don't even think about it at this point, which is bad.
Can I ask you a question? When we decided we were going to do the challenge, or in general in life, let's say the challenge is over. For you, what are your goals? Is it to lose weight? Is it to be healthy? Is it to, what for you is?
In general, it's to lose weight, and I don't use fitness as a way to lose weight.
Okay, so it's not in general then. So that's not, when we're talking fitness. When we're fitness. Working out.
Oh no, that's more of a mental health thing.
Okay,
so that's why it's hard to do in this
those
winter.
Small workouts are serving their purpose.
Yeah.
For me, they wouldn't serve their purpose.
Yeah,
it would just be a waste of time.
That's why the walking thing helps, because I'm out in the sun. So it's more of a mental health thing for me than me trying to work out to lose. I mean, I've done it in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it in the past. I've worked. I had a train gotta send you the stuff and you do it. And I lost a lot of weight during that, but it was good during the time, but that's just not my.
The funny thing is we gotta be done. Yeah. But okay, y'all.
I can't.
I don't have to say this on camera.
We can do 35 minutes. It's fine.
My biggest thing is that what stopped me from working out was that I was really happy with my body.
That'll do it.
The problem is I really like food as well.
So it has to become less about your body and more about just something that you're doing. Nope. Okay.
I have to understand the importance of maintaining, even once you get to your goal, and you can't just fall off the deep end and go, oh well, I've arrived, and then forget everything that got you there.
Yeah.
Not at 30 plus, you damn sure can't. At 20, sure. At 20, I could wake up a little bloated and eat a salad for that day and be back snatched. I can't do that anymore. And so, in turn, if me being really happy with my body in turn makes me happy, I have to continue to remember that after I've already met that goal. I'm trying to think of an analogy that'll work with that as well.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, though.
It shouldn't be based on that, but it is. So we're here.
No, that's fine if it is, but I would think if that, and this is for me, that's not, like I said, that's not my thing, and I've had a lot longer weight issues than probably you have, but for me, if I know that that's what it is, like I'm good, I feel good in my body, and that's it, at that point, then I feel like it would be too easy for me to go back to that, because I've done this so many times. For me, I've done this whole lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. So then trying to find other either motivation
so there we
or
go. So that's what it was. So what should have happened? So then you mix that with, oh, I'm tired of paying my trainer, right? Well, okay, maybe then you get a gym membership to the gym that is behind your apartment, damn near attached to your apartment. And guess what else? It's 5 men's in there. And now you're going to work out just to maintain. What I say all the time, if I had the money, I'd go get surgery. But would you? Because you got to your 5 pounds away from your goal. And you went willy-nilly. You're like, I can do what I want now. And so it's just discipline.
Yeah.
I think we try to reword it as other things. But I think about how happy I was. And even, this is so sad, I would put on clothes. I'd be having a not so great day, and I'm like, okay, let me go out, let me go hang out with my friends. Putting on clothes and them fitting better than I expected felt really good. It would just add a little notch. It wasn't a game changer. You know what I mean? But just that extra notch of like feeling yourself made a difference. So why would I jeopardize that?
Right.
With this burger from Wendy's. I ate so many faux for foes. Faux for foes was my favorite. Add extra pickle and ketchup. Like, I love a faux for faux junior bacon cheeseburger. Okay? Judge your mama. I don't care.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Follow us across social media on Instagram and Facebook at High Function MS. Subscribe, rate, comment. Subscribe. Like, I keep forgetting it's different. Subscribe, rate, comment on SoundCloud, iTunes.
That's the thing, yeah.
Stitcher, Google Play. Like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube and Facebook.
Just go follow us. Participate. Bye.
Bye.